Welcome back, YouTube. And today I'm going to give you guys a quick video. It was requested that I do some PenFed content. You guys know I've been known on YouTube throughout my career as the King of Navy Fed, and some people requested that I do some more content on different credit unions, and one in specific is PenFed. Now you guys know I've been known to tell you guys all the things that I love about Navy Federal. However, they ain't pay me to say it, and neither is PenFed pay me to say this. So I want to go ahead and give to you guys my top 5 reasons on why PenFed may be a better credit union for you in comparison to Navy Federal. So, reason number one, I'm just going to state the obvious for those of you who kind of have a clue with the differences as far as PenFed and Navy Fed, um, and why you may choose PenFed over Navy Fed. And that's the obvious. You don't have a sponsor to get into Navy Federal. So if you don't have a sponsor to get into Navy Federal and you don't have a true military affiliation, I understand that there are all these, backdoor methods to getting in. However, I always tell people I don't recommend the backdoor methods because in the event that Navy Federal does any type of audit, if you don't have the appropriate documentation when you're getting audited, then basically what will end up happening is they'll end up shutting down your account, and they may end up shutting down your sponsor's account. When they do that, all of your loans come due. If you have any loans, if you have any money in your bank account, it could end up frozen, or it could end up put towards those loans that just came due. And it can be a drastic situation for a lot of people. I've seen it happen plenty of times, and so that's why I recommend against it. I know there's going to be people who are going to say, "Oh, well, it's not very likely this, that, blah, blah, blah." I'm never going to tell you to do something immoral just to get a credit card or get a bank account. I just don't believe in it. I've always said I was able to join off of family member's military affiliation. I have the DD-214, all the documents to show that. Um, I wouldn't have just gone out and joined this bank or joined this credit union or financial institution, whatever you want to call it, purely just because somebody told me they could get me in, and I didn't actually qualify for it. Now, um, I actually saw a comment under one of my posts that really kind of hit me in the chest because I was like, wow, as much as I talk against this, somebody is saying this on one of my posts, and it was crazy to me that they said, "Oh well, you all talk so highly of Navy Fed, and then you wonder why people are trying to scam and do all these other things to get in." And that really is just an aspect of your moral compass. If you're willing to do it, that's on you, but just understand the consequences. And there are plenty of alternatives out there. I've said it before. I've shown you guys alternatives before. PenFed was one of those alternatives. So I just wanted to kind of talk about it a little more. So the next thing and reason why you may want to go with PenFed instead of Navy Fed is that PenFed typically offers larger personal loans than Navy Fed. Um, I've seen it go both ways. I've seen Navy Fed offer more to some people than PenFed. I've seen PenFed offer some to more people than Navy Fed. But overall, if you have a good relationship with Navy Fed already and you've kind of overextended your welcome or tapped out what you can get with them, you can always go and look at PenFed. Or maybe you can't get into Navy Fed and you're looking for another bank that's going to offer you a decent sized personal loan. Check out PenFed. Now, number three is going to be that you already have good credit. I know this kind of sounds crazy, but for whatever reason, and I've noticed it throughout time, um, Navy Federal tends to kind of cater more towards people who are rebuilding their credit and, people who are trying to get their credit together and just starting to get approved for things. Whereas PenFed more caters towards those who already have a pretty good credit profile or at least some credit history to lend off of. So if you're starting out, Navy Fed offers the secured the secured credit card, the secured loan, all those different products for people who are starting out and building credit. PenFed doesn't have too many options for those who are starting out. And then as far as their products, they're more catered towards people who already have, good to excellent credit. Um, Moving a little bit further along, if you're looking to do a balance transfer, is another time where you may favor PenFed over NavyFed. It's not that big of a deal. However, PenFed's 0% interest card gives you 3 months more of 0% interest than NavyFed's 0% interest card. It also depends on the time of year and, when you're watching this video, if those offers are still available. But typically, PenFed offers a few more months of 0% interest than NavyFed. So that's something to look at, is being able to get those 0% interest offers with PenFed. Um, and then, you can transfer your cards over to PenFed and pay that debt off faster. So if you're someone who has good credit, but you have a high limit, um, or a high utilization on one of your credit cards and you want to get it paid off, you may want to look at PenFed. Now, this is one of the bigger ones, number 5, that I would say to each his own. There are better savings accounts than the PenFed savings account when it comes down to high yield savings account. But as far as a credit union savings account, it's one of the best ones out there with a 3% rate. That compares to NavyFed having a 0.25% rate, I believe. So when you're looking at PenFed versus NavyFed, there, of course, it's like 15x the amount you're going to be making back on your money in an online savings account. When it comes down to that, once again, to each his own. There's a lot of high yield savings accounts out there that are 5% that you could go with. But if you like to keep your money all in one place, make it manageable, it's not that big of a difference per se when you're looking at 5% versus 3% interest. If you're someone who is not, computer savvy or up to keeping up with a bunch of different accounts and a bunch of different banks. So that's something where if you already bank with PenFed, or if you already have a credit card with them or something like that, and you want to keep your money with them, you can keep all your money and everything in one place and make it a little bit easier on yourself, as well as get a little bit more back on your money. And last but not least, my bonus point for this video is going to be diversity. Okay. Why may PenFed be better than NavyFed for you? Like I said, maybe you've overstayed your welcome with NavyFed. I say that kind of in a joking way, but if you've gotten to the point with them where you're not able to get the approvals that you want, or maybe you've burned them in the past or had some type of issue with NavyFed, and you're looking for somewhere else that you can go that's going to be similar ecosystem, similar approvals, all that type of stuff, and you want to diversify, check out PenFed. So with that being said, as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for being a part of the channel, and we will see you in the next one.